mentioned about putting more money into people's hand in budget 2020. Is there any recommendation, perhaps disposable income, how to generate more? Is there some to reduce corporate tax, perhaps, so that company can give more salary? And how does the mechanics work?
I think we have a situation here where the major determinant of what in people's hands is income, wages. Okay, so ordinary people, we think about their wages. Right now, the situation is not very happy, and we have for decades now a situation where a large presence of foreign workers basically serves to suppress the wages of Malaysian workers. Okay, because it's always so easy to get a foreigner to do twice as much work as a Malaysian for less money. I'll give you an example. You have many of these buildings have Nepali security guards. They usually work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Okay, those are their shifts. 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. So they are prepared to do that. 7 hours a week, 12 hours a day is 84 hours. Malaysian workers are working 40 hours a week, okay, plus or minus a little bit. Okay, so it is basically relatively limited. Okay, what the Malaysian workers are. So unless you have a situation where you effectively regulate the foreign workers, I think we are going to have a situation where we are going to have Malaysian workers, basically suffering not because of direct effect but indirect effect of the presence of foreign workers. 2 days ago, my colleagues at Kazana Research Institute, they did a study. They found that about almost 20% of Malaysian households are earning less than 1,200 ringgit. Okay, that's extremely low. They're earning less than 1,200 ringgit. It's sorry,
Household.
per household. Yeah, and that 70% of the population earns less than 3,000 ringgit. Okay, so it's not as if so this use of the term B40 and all that is completely arbitrary. You can say that about 70% of the population is not living in luxury, and perhaps about the top 30%, you can say they live all right, but not all of them are doing wonderfully, and then you have a very, very small percentage. Now, there was a survey done some years ago which found that half the owners of luxury cars, 2 liters and above, okay, did not even pay income tax. Okay. Now, of course, you could be a very rich widow, okay, and you're not paying any income tax, but you can afford your BMW or whatever rich widows drive, or rather their drivers drive for the rich widows. Okay, and let's not forget that 2 years ago, according to Focus, the top 3 richest women in this country were all rich widows. Okay, unfortunately for them, they have passed on, all 3 of them. Okay? But so there are, but I'm sure not every owner of luxury car is a rich widow. So you have to begin to wonder how successful and easy tax evasion is in this country. Now, all of you in this room are probably on some kind of a salary, and you can be sure that you'll be liable for income tax if your income is high enough. Yeah, but I don't think you have the luck of being able to evade tax. So just having a more effective tax system is going to make a big difference. Now, there are of course, ways and means by which you can tax high income or high value people much more effectively. I'm sure that the advisors to the government are looking at these options, and this is important. But right now, I think because of the debt which the government inherited, they are understandably don't want more debt. But I think given the very serious situation in the world today, I think it is important for us to use the Malay expression, to make sure your umbrella is ready before it rains. Okay, make sure your umbrella is ready before it rains. Okay?
So the target of 3% budget you said.
I think these kinds of things, you need to be flexible. Long ago in the 1990s, when Anwar was presenting a budget, he said something about what Nabi Yusuf, alayhi salam, that when the Prophet Joseph was he said 7 years of basically of hardship, 7 years of excess. So you need to balance between the two. How do you balance it? Of course, 7 years is a very fixed formula. But basically, my general approach is, and I think the approach of Angtet as well, is to be consistently counter-cyclical. So when times are good, you pay off your debt. You pay down your debt. When times are tough, you don't jimat cermat at the time when times are tough. That's when you need to spend to compensate for the private sector spending collapse. Okay.